A prism is a solid object, triangular at the base and have some height. So a prism of such shape is called triangular prism. What does a prism does? So when there is a white light coming and going through the prism, it disperses the light in 7 different colors. This is called a spectrum, and this is what prism does. But this is not the end of it, and we are going to start with something fresh. So first, what I am going to do is, I will just take a single colored light ray and apply simple laws of refraction to understand what a prism does to a light ray. So if I take a red ray, it strike at this point on the prism. So if it is at this point and going into the glass from air, let us draw a normal. And when we draw the normal, this angle is angle of incidence and it is going to bend towards the normal. This is what laws of refraction says. So let us say it is going in this direction. Again, it is at this boundary and it is coming out of the glass to the air. So in this case, it is going to bend away from the normal. So again, draw our normal here, and this angle is angle of refraction. Now, what has happened to the ray? In glass slabs, we have understood that there is going to be a lateral shift in the ray, but in this case, there is no lateral shift. In fact, there is a deviation in the path of the ray. So if we extend this ray which is coming out of the prism backward and extend the incident ray, they are going to intersect at some point, and hence there is an angle between these two, incident ray and the final refracted ray coming out of the prism, and this angle is called angle of deviation. So see this, how this is very different from a glass slab. Now if we repeat the same thing for a orange ray striking at this point and coming out, again we are going to have some deviation, and please note this deviation, how the orange ray is deviating and how the red ray was deviating. Similarly, if we do the same thing for a yellow ray, we are going to have some deviation, and again note the angle of deviation here as well. Similarly, take a green ray and again after coming out, take a note of the angle of deviation. Similarly, take for a blue ray, again blue ray coming to this point on the prism and coming out from here. Again we will note down the deflection, and again for indigo, the ray is coming on this point on the prism, and again after reflection it is deviating with some angle. Notice that in all the deflections, the incident ray angle has not changed. So in the previous as well as in this ray, the angle of incidence I am not changing, and how the deviation is different for different colored rays. Same we will repeat for violet, and then we have an incident ray and we have a deflection. Notice that how large it has deflected, although I have not changed the angle of incidence. So let us summarize what we have got from this experiment. We have got red ray, we have got orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet. So in this case, we have got different deviations. If you compare the deviated angle, the deviation angle is different for all the rays. And if we combine the red with the violet, then we see clearly that how much deviation each one is getting. If you see closely, the red ray is getting much less deviation than the violet. And notice how the incident ray color has changed. That means if you take any ray whose color is not out of the 7 colors, you will get different color outputs. So you got the point? I will repeat it again. If you take any ray whose colors are not out of the 7 colors that we have just now gone through, that ray is going to disperse in multiple colors. The number will vary from 2 to 7. So in this ray, we have 2 rays dispersing. Similarly, if we add the yellow one also, in this case we are having 3 ray dispersing. So notice the color of the incident ray. So this is how a prism will behave. Whenever there is a ray incident on the prism, they are going to disperse into different colors out of the 7, given that the incident ray is not one of these 7 colors that we have studied. So now finally, if we take all the rays together and combine it here, what we are going to get is a white ray splitting into 7 different colors. So this is what is called dispersion of light by prism,